Welcome to the Transform Sales Podcast, where forward-thinking business leaders come to share their experiences and ideas, learn from each other, and amplify their results together.
All right, guys, welcome to another session of the Transform Sales Podcast, Software Review. Today, we have a special guest, Andreas from Introw. He is the co-founder of the company. How's it going?
All good. Thanks for inviting me. It's cool to be in the podcast.
Likewise, very good to have you. Guys, today we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic, which is increasing partner revenue and engagement with next-gen partner portal. But before we get there, I want to know a little bit of your background. How did this all started? And tell us a little bit of what you do at the company at the moment and how you're helping your buyers.
Okay, yeah, very cool. So maybe very short. So about myself. So Andreas, living and working from Ghent, Belgium. It's a very small city in Belgium. Before this, I was doing partnership sales for a company selling forklift hardware and software solutions. So very niche, but we were actually selling 80% indirect. So think about selling through resellers, distributors, and so on. And the thing there is we were facing a lot of challenges on aligning on pipeline, on sharing content, all things like that, but in an easy way. Back then we were using HubSpot, and we didn't really find an easy way to actually collaborate and increase revenue with those partners in a friction of time. And that actually led us to starting the company about 2 years ago. So we're actually leveraging mainly the HubSpot and Salesforce ecosystem as we dive very deep into the CRMs of companies. So maybe in short, what do we do? So we're a partner collaboration platform. So this actually means is that we're actually streamlining content, allowing companies to collaborate on pipeline strategies, mutual action plans with really a low friction and very short time to value partner platform. And that ties very deep into your CRM. So think about companies, mainly B2B hardware and software in our case, working with resellers, distributors, referral partners, strategic partners. And if they want to get more revenue and engagement out of that, they would typically use Introw, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Awesome. Well, one of the things I like to highlight here is that this is a challenge that you face and know you want to solve for. So I feel like that puts you in a very good position to go help masses of people, right? So just to kind of spark this up a little bit, what were some alternatives that your customer were using before buying and considering your product?
Yeah, so it's a good question, and it sounds so typical, but of course we will talk about Sheets and Gmail and so on. But I think in a partnership context, this is even more the case. And think about a partnership. What does that mean? It's about relations, it's about communication, and in the end, it's also about increasing revenue through your partner channel, right? So in terms of communication, this gets very dispersed. You use WhatsApp with your partners, you use Slack, you use emails. For content sharing, you might use a Google Drive. Then for aligning on pipeline and deals, you use a Sheet and your CRM. So all of this gets very dispersed. So a lot of these tools, the typical ones, but it gets really dispersed, and this really doesn't allow for streamlined collaboration.
No, for sure. And I experienced this as well. I used PRMs in the past, and they're not as strong as they are now. So before it did require like 50%, the tool will help you, 50% I will have to do a lot of manual things. But now it's 100% covered to make sure that you're serving your partners, make sure there's constant communication, there's resources being sent, there's a process or a progress of where the deal is going. And I feel like we're at an era where this is a lot easier to achieve, right? I know you mentioned a few challenges that you experienced yourself before building the company, but what were some other challenges that your customers were running into with those alternatives that your software kind of helped them overcome?
Yeah, so there's a lot of very practical examples. So just think, for example, in a referral context, it's very frustrating if you get a lead, or if you give a lead, to your partner, and you don't hear anything back. So you need to wait for a month or 2 months to get some updates on who's actually owning this deal, in what stage is this deal, can we do anything to help? So these are actually the manual tasks, the pains that our customers are really facing on a daily basis. They need to export sheets from their CRM, send it to the partner, align on those sheets. So it's really a lot of pains that they get into this manual type of updates that they need to send to these partners. But then apart from that, our partners ask the typical questions like, okay, where can I find your documents, your latest spec sheet? Where is your product updates, things like that? And we actually centralize all of that in a very convenient partner portal. Now, we need to be fair, and partners will not go into this partner portal every day. And that's why actually we're focusing a lot on these, what we call off-portal collaboration features. So think about nudging that we do via Slack, nudging via email. We even allow partners, for example, to reply on a notification email, and these replies are automatically transformed with AI into your CRM, also into PRM. So in that way, we actually facilitate a lot of off-portal collaboration features, allowing you to just stay where you are in Slack, email, without every time needing to go to the partner portal.
No, and one of the things you mentioned is, for example, what I've seen in a lot of PRMs is that some people might forget the password. Now they lost access. Now the lead went through somebody else. Now it affected the relationship with the partner. So there's so many little different details and mistakes that you can kind of deal with, and obviously you're sacrificing a relationship, right? And that's not
100%. 100%. And then, of course, like a typical PRM, to give you an idea, Dave, that would take 4 to 6 months in implementation, right? But definitely for the SMB market, which is the main market we're covering today, this is just too long. Reason being is you don't want to have that opportunity cost of 4 to 6 months in implementing a solution. Your business changes, and then you need to rebuild that solution or custom develop that again. So that's actually why we decided, like, okay, how can we actually allow companies to go live with their partners in literally a day or literally minutes, which takes that perception or that way of going to market, but also collaborating with partners a lot easier. And we often see, for example, partners that would design or no-code their partner portal, but then they would iterate on it. So reason being is your business changes constantly. Your partner program does as well. So you want to have the same flexibility in your PRM as in your CRM, as in your go-to-market strategy overall today.
Awesome. I mean, one of the things that I also wanted to share is that previous PRMs require somebody to be super knowledgeable about the tool. It will take 6 to 4 months, like you mentioned. But now it's like anybody in the team that obviously has the bandwidth can just oversee it. In a week, everybody's already aware of how it works. And I feel like that speed to value is a lot more compelling, right?
100%. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, in this session, I do want to share the quick demo, right? Is the audience favorite portion. So let me go ahead and share my screen so they could kind of walk us through those key features that your customers are using so that they overcome those challenges that they were currently facing, right?
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. So I don't want to make it too long because we know today these long demos, we hate them. So let's just dive in quite quick. So what we see in here, and I'm going to say the pain first. So what is the pain? Partner managers need to report every month on how their partnerships are performing, the top performing deals, where they can actually fix some things to actually generate more revenue or to decrease that sales cycle. So what we're actually showing them, and this is literally after connecting their CRM, we automatically show them insights into their partnership performing, showing them, okay, what are your top performing partners, your top deals, and so on, giving them actually in minutes some insights into, okay, where do I need to focus? What is my next step? And so that's the first thing. So secondly, what you can actually do with Introw is actually build your own partner portal, no code. So you design this in the full way that you want, making it flexible for all types of partnerships. Let's say you have a reseller, then you will talk about deal registrations with approval flows. Let's say you have a referral partner, will be more about referral registrations with automatic updates. Let's say you have a strategic partner, might be more about mutual action plan and alignment. So you really design this partner environment or partner experience fully personalized towards your needs or the needs of your partner, with tasks, action plans, how the program works, and so on. Now, of course, the main thing that is used with our customers is actually deal collaboration. And why is that? The big pain is that you don't want to have partners in your CRM, right? You don't want to give them access to everything. So you actually want to provide them access with only the deals that they are working on or that you are collaborating on together. So with Introw, you're actually able to collaborate in real time with your partner on these deals without showing them any other deals. And this is two-way connected with your CRM. And today we support HubSpot and Salesforce. But this also means every time there's a change in your CRM, the change will also be pushed to Introw and will then also nudge the partner via Slack or via email in these off-portal collaboration features. Apart from that, of course, you can still do really deep co-selling on Introw, allowing you to really strategically collaborate on a deal together. And let's say you work with a reseller and you see, okay, this close date is actually already passed by the 29th of August in this case, then you can literally mention the partner. They will get an email like, okay, what's the status on this deal? Is this still relevant whatsoever? You can create a task for them to say, okay, guys, you need to visit these partners again. And again, these tasks will be nudged automatically via email or via Slack. So this is the deal collaboration, which is, of course, mainly used, and which will also, of course, send notification like, okay, the deal has been a closed one. There's a deal update, like the status has been changed. Things like that are all embedded in the partner environment or experience. Now, if we go back, we can, of course, also share some documents and videos with the partners, which is a classical way of working, but we go a little step further where you can also share some Loom videos or even some Senja. This is a Senja embed where you can have some testimonials for your partners and so on. This really allows you to literally create this partner environment in minutes, and also allows you to actually decide on what type of structure you would like. This means if you work with resellers, referral partners, integration partners, you can literally build different types of templates and scale these over the right partners. So actually centralizing all the content, allowing you to manage these partners and putting engagements on autopilot. Does that make sense? Yeah,
100%. I feel like it gives another layer of confidence that, this is actually something that we need to work as a team, right? In previous PRMs, like everybody's in their own thing. Nobody knows what's going on with the deal. The buyer's already shopping somewhere else, right? Yeah. And I feel like this is something that puts all those challenges that we previously mentioned together to make sure that a deal actually occurs, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. Anything else you'd like to share with us on this demo portion?
Well, I think this is the main things that we wanted to share in here. Of course, you can customize your own portal, make some colors and so on, make it more personalized to your brand. So Introw is actually a white label collaboration platform. So if you implement Introw, you don't see anything about Introw. It's all about your brand. So we think that's important as well, because this is also, again, part of your partner experience. Also, the emails that we would send and so on, these will be all branded, of course, towards your experience.
Got it. Is there any templates based on the service and product that I'm going to be working with?
Well, it's actually based. The templates are actually based on the type of partnerships that you're working on. If you work with resellers, you can build reseller templates. If you work with referral partner, you can build a referral partner template, and these will have all different types of triggers and forms attached to it.
Perfect. Awesome. So when it comes to tasks, deliverables, and or people that are involved in setting up the software for this use case, how long would it typically take to reach full productivity?
Yeah, so to reach full productivity, if we get cooperation, the fastest thing that we went live was half an hour. That was 15 partners. That's, of course, a very well prepared partnership manager that already does the right attribution in the CRM and so on. But think about less than a week for any size. We have customers with thousands of partners, so you don't need to have like 10 partners or 20. If you have a right setup and if you're ready to scale, you can literally, you don't need to have the full perfect templates ready with Introw. That's the advantage. You don't need to unlock all the features from the start. If you say, actually, we're not ready yet for content sharing, then you can just remove that tab and you can already launch the partner program without even sharing the content, without even working on a mutual action plan or things like that.
Awesome. And when it comes, go for it.
Well, maybe one thing that's we forgotten and before this is that what we've actually done is we've actually built a co-pilot in the CRM, allowing your full team to actually collaborate with the partners from within the CRM. So this actually allows you to have actually all the value of the partnership platform within the CRM, and it also allows the sales team to collaborate with partners on these partnership deals. Because in the past, you don't want to get those salespeople in your PRM, and you want to leave them in the CRM. And that's actually a trend that we see that is it's a very adopted feature for us. It's actually that's the team is actually using Introw a lot from within the CRM with our inbuilt collaboration features.
Awesome. And when it comes to support channels, for example, what tends to be your most effective? Chat, phone, email?
You mean for Introw itself?
Yeah, like if I'm a buyer, I decide to go with you guys. I want to get some support. I want to make sure you guys can guide me. I know you probably have some good help documents. Yeah. But what's another way to reach your team, get that personal connection, get that support?
So for us, what works best is intercom. we're very heavy invested on it. So we like the tool because it's both reactive and proactive. I think that's what we like a lot about it. So you can wait for requests coming in and collaborate on those ones, but you can also proactively give support. And I think that's the beauty of Intercom and why we like it so much.
Awesome. And who will be a person in the company that will be supporting the customer, right? Will be a CSM, a partner specialist. Who will that be?
Correct. So today that would be our CSM. So yeah, it's the sales team who would actually go from in the first collaboration, and even the free trial would be supported by your account executive. But then from the moment that you would sign, then it's of course the customer success team that would take over.
Awesome. And when it comes to the price ranges, what does it look like if I decide to go for you?
So we start at about $300 per month. That's for about 10 partners, and that's for the basic plan. And then if you go pro plan, that starts at about $3 or $4.99, sorry, and it scales with the amount of partners. So you can start literally very small, but if you're a larger company with a lot of partners, this will scale. And of course, there's also an enterprise possibility. I also saw here in this question, because that's a cool thing, like, okay, what's your deliverables and things like that. So we actually also do two other things, which are maybe not a deliverable, but what we call is KPI tracking for our customers. And that's actually two KPIs that we track. It's deal velocity and it's actually, which actually includes deal velocity is the amount of deals, it's how long the sales cycle is, and so on. And then the second one is engagement, so partner engagement. So if we see those two metrics going up, then it's for us a successful customer that we know that will probably not churn.
Okay, but we can also see those as KPIs, right?
Yeah.
Part of this question is, what KPI should your ideal customer use to evaluate their success with your software for this use case, and what quantifiable outcomes can they expect? I know you just mentioned one of the KPIs you should look out for, which is deal velocity, but what else should I look out for to feel like I'm successful being a client of yours?
The easy one is actually the amount of partner deals created. Reason being is that, of course, we do a lot of things to reduce that sales cycle, add us automatic nudging, the engagement stuff, and so on. But the thing that we really can influence is the amount of deals or amount of pipeline created. And this is also a success factor for our customers. They can easily see it in the dashboard as well, like how has this changed from starting with Introw up till now. And this also results in closed ones in the end. And I think this is not different from any other type of business or company. The more pipeline you have, the more you will close. So this is also something internally for our team. It's like, it's not always about pushing or getting them to sign very fast. It's about consistently building pipeline. But this is not any different for a partner company. If your partner is consistently building pipeline for you, then revenue will flow in automatically.
Yeah, 100%. I'm aligned with you. I have a personal question. I wanted to ask this, right? What is the success that you see with buyers that are using actual resources instead of the ones that are not, right?
So can you elaborate a little bit on that?
Yeah. So for example, what I've seen in PRMs is that I'll give you an example, right? PartnerStack, right? There's a lot of companies that go into PartnerStack and they grab a link, they go share with their partners, but there's no resources in there, right? So I don't have a lot of clarity on how the conversation should be about what should I pitch versus those that actually have resources where I can just go back and be aligned on the product or service that I'm offering. What have you seen? What trend have you seen in terms of that?
So the trend is, of course, that people are becoming more lazy and do not want to read a lot of long resources. And I think that's what we see in our platforms. And if we work together on the implementation, that companies tend to summarize the joint value proposition, which is in a partnership context, the main thing which is used. So why are we actually partnering, right? So Dave, why are we a partner? Why am I selling your solution or the other way around? And having that very clear, short joint value proposition is a lot higher than actually the features below that. And I think that's the same in direct sales. For us, that's driving revenue and engagement. How we are doing that, is of course also important, but it's often less important if we can really prove that top level like influence that we would have. And that's the same what we see for resources, is that companies tend to get them shorter, to get them also close to the deals. So let's say, for example, a partner registers deals with Coca-Cola and you already have a testimonial with Pepsi, then you would actually share that one on that deal. So it's not just having that somewhere available. You would literally enable them with the right content at the right time, instead of just having some resources available which are not really actionable, if that makes sense.
Yep. All right, awesome. Thank you for answering that question. Anything else that you wish to share with the audience? I think we kind of went over the few things we wanted to share. Anything you will...
Well, of course, you guys are also a lot into people and what people can deliver and the value. I think for us, that's the same. We see the biggest success when we have RevOps aligned in the implementation, because we start from the CRM data. So this is really important to have some CRM data. We also don't sell to companies that don't have a CRM or are not yet there. And we see the biggest success with the RevOps team. So yeah, that's maybe the last point in here. It's to actually, for a solution like ours, we need to have a multi-stakeholder approach. So we cannot just sell to the head of partnerships, because they will eventually also need some help from RevOps. And I see that RevOps is more and more involved in a broader scope, and is also more the persona who would be looking more for tools. So what we see sometimes is that a RevOps is really the first one who checks the tools, because they want to see, is this actually collaborating or integrating with the tools that we have today, versus in the past where that would not be the main challenge or question that a company would have.
That makes perfect sense. Do you guys have any CRM preference to make sure the tool works at its full functionality, or?
Well, preference. So we're strongest on HubSpot, because that's the market that we went first on in a go-to-market strategy. So I would say we're a little bit stronger on that one. Of course, we don't need to lie. The Salesforce market is bigger, but we just really like the HubSpot ecosystem, because it's not a pay to play, and it's really helping each other out. You get a lot of learning documents. It's very convenient as well to build on top of that. So yeah, if I need to decide, I would say HubSpot.
Awesome. Well, I think this was a great session. Andreas, thank you for being here. Thank you for showing us what your product is capable of doing and how it can help buyers from a marketplace, right? Not only those that are coming in, obviously benefiting from CloudTask as the service that we offer, but all those that are searching, they're looking to consider your product, and if they see this podcast, obviously it will be very beneficial for them to make an informed decision. Anything else that you wish to share, so we can wrap it up?
Well, if you're ready to get started with partnerships and you're looking to increase revenue and engagement, there's one address there, Dave.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you for this session of the Transform Sales Podcast. If you're looking to increase partner revenue and engagement with Next Gen Partner Portal, I will leave the link in the description below so that you can give it a try. You'll have Andreas and his team supporting you to make sure that you get the best use of the tool. See you on the next section.